Good Thursday afternoon. I'm Chris Sarabsky. Thanks for joining us on KARE 11 News Now. Let's get right to your headlines. Today is a KARE 11 Weather Impact Alert Day. Storms on their way through Minnesota right now. Some had this morning. You saw that band going through. Some of these storms could be severe tonight, and impact your evening. Our weather team is all over it. They're going to be live all afternoon right here on KARE 11 Plus, bringing you the very latest in how these storms are tracking. Happening right now, the Stillwater Prison is closing down. Today, state officials announced a phased closure of the prison by June of 2029. According to the Department of Corrections, the 450 staff members of the prison will be reassigned to other roles in the Department of Corrections, and the 1,200 inmates will be transferred to other state facilities. The reason, according to state leaders, is because the prison upkeep is getting too expensive. We will have a crew on scene in Stillwater. Make sure you watch KARE 11 News at 4, 5, and 6 for the very latest on the Stillwater prison closure. New today, we have a new deal. Minnesota state lawmakers announcing they have agreed on a new 2-year state budget. According to Governor Tim Walz's office, the deal lowers a projected $6 billion deficit, but does not get rid of it completely. The budget deal calls for some major spending reductions in areas such as health and human services and transportation. K-12 education was spared cuts in the next 2 years, but the budget target proposes slowing education spending in the following budget cycle. The parties compromised on issues such as paid family leave, summer unemployment for school workers, and most critically, access to state health care for undocumented immigrants. Ultimately, lawmakers agreed to strip access from adult undocumented immigrants while leaving it in place for children. Here's lawmakers shortly after the deal was announced.
But they bit off, these leaders and the administration, we bit off tackling this, clearing up 90% in the second biennium and setting us on a path to sustainability. So it was a big achievement. A lot of work yet to be, you hear it, passions. This is what happens when you compromise. This is what it means to try and work together. These leaders knew that. They're going to go hear this. I'm going to hear it. That's the way this should be done.
This budget and the compromise represents that. It is hard and good, and I am proud of our work.
I'm happy to tell you that with the global targets, we are seeing the largest spending cut in state history, nearly $5 billion from biennium to biennium, and that is progress. I am very proud of the work that we have done so far. Minnesotans will be able to afford their lives here. Businesses will be able to thrive and survive.
Legislature has until Monday night to approve the budget, or else they need to face a special session. Now to northern Minnesota, rain expected to fall up north today, as we said, bringing much needed relief in the ongoing battle against wildfires. Today, the St. Louis County Sheriff said the fires did not grow in size like they did earlier in the week. As of right now, the Camp House fire, the Jenkins Creek fire, and the Munger Shaw fire have burned a combined 35,000 acres. Moving over to Wall Street to check out the markets today, as the nation's largest retailer announces you will see higher prices in its stores very soon. We're in the green today, by the way. Walmart, that is, says it's not immune from President Trump's tariffs on goods coming into the U.S. Walmart is the latest company to announce a rise in prices because of the tariffs. In an earnings call this morning, CEO Doug McMillon said the company will do everything it can to keep prices down. Right now, every product entering the U.S. faces a 10% tariff at least. Most items coming from China, however, face a 30% tax. Developing right now, the Justice Department is investigating United Health Group looking for potential fraud. The Wall Street Journal reports the probe has been going on since at least last summer. The focus is on the company's handling of its Medicare Advantage business practices. That's according to the Wall Street Journal. In a statement, United Health said it wasn't informed about the DOJ's actions and that there are no issues with how its Medicare Advantage program is dealt with. The DOJ declined to comment on the matter as well. United Health recently replaced its CEO and has seen its stock drop by nearly 50% over the past few weeks. The company is also facing other investigations, including potential antitrust violations and a probe into Medicare billing practices. Happening right now, more pharmacies are closing in Minnesota, and this is not just a rural problem. Now those pharmacies are asking for help from the legislature, and both sides agree they got to step in. But as Gordon Severson reports, how they step in is up for debate.
For more than 100 years, St. Paul Corner Drug has been filling prescriptions for the community.
This is kind of the epitome of an independent pharmacy.
John Hession has been the owner for the last 35 years. And during that time, he has seen a significant problem steadily getting worse.
Quite frankly, it's just unsustainable.
Hession says this stack of paperwork represents 65% of his filled prescriptions. And with every one of them, he's losing money.
There's 41,400 some prescriptions that we filled below our cost.
Hession and other pharmacists argue the state's reimbursement rate is too low, and many pharmacies are going out of business. The Minnesota Board of Pharmacy says over the last 10 years, 44% of the state's pharmacies have closed, creating pharmacy deserts across the state.
And leaving patients without access to pharmacy services.
Wednesday morning, Hession and other pharmacists shared their concerns at the state capitol, asking lawmakers to step in and help.
I've lost 2 or 3 independent pharmacies in my district just in the last several years.
Both the House and Senate are working on changes that would give independent pharmacies direct payments to offset the cost of prescriptions, and a new reimbursement model that pharmacists say could save taxpayers money and keep pharmacies open.
We're here to say we need this or we're really going to be in a dire situation.
Let's go to sports now because this is really good news. On to the next one. For the second year in a row, the Minnesota Timberwolves are heading to the Western Conference Finals after taking down the Warriors in Game 5 at Target Center. It's the first time in 20 years they clinched a spot in the Western Conference Finals at home. The Wolves came out looking for blood right away. Julius Randle with a game-high 29 points. He was on fire, as Marv Albert used to say this series. Anthony Edwards with 22 and 12 assists. The Wolves are going to take on the winner of Denver, Oklahoma, next, Game 6, and that series is tonight. The Thunder could clinch that series with a win. More big sports news. The Frost are heading back to the Walter Cup Finals to defend their title after defeating Toronto in the semis. In the third period, the Frost trailed by 1 with a little over 11 minutes left in regulation when Captain Kendall Coyne Schofield tied things up, assisted by Sophie Jakes. The game goes into overtime. Wait for it. Taylor Heisey, what does she do? She scores the game winner. Heisey, stud, and they move on again. They're going to defend their title. Congrats to them. Minnesota Twins are on a road trip this week, and when the team is away, their mascot, TC Bear, does not take a break. He's part of a new mission, a mental health education effort that's taking him all over the metro. Kent Erdahl got exclusive access to one of the sessions.
White Bear Lake's namesake was upstaged Wednesday by a famous furry twin. And if you think this welcome for TC Bear is a little overwhelming, well, that and what came next is the point.
Let's help TC recenter himself with that breathing technique we just practiced, all right?
TC and his Minnesota Twins animal control team visited Otter Elementary to celebrate mental health.
Breathe in with your nose, and then out through your mouth. TC's been eating chili dogs backstage.
The lighthearted lesson is based around TC's 3 strikes to help strike out poor mental health.
Notice the feeling, name your feeling, and then share your feelings with a trusted adult. Something we talk about a lot at school. We teach students a lot of different skills and strategies, but to have people that they look up to talk about it and reinforce those ideas and talk about how normal it is means so much because, you know, I can tell them that, but I'm their principal.
The packed half hour features several interactive activities, courtesy of some brave volunteers.
Felt strange at first. I was really nervous at first because I'd be doing it in front of a whole bunch of people. Yeah.
But kindergartner Vivian Hundley and 4th grader Kensley Whips say those feelings quickly gave way to others.
And it was really fun.
And sometimes even beyond fun.
Yeah, it was really funny.
And the laughter and joy just keeps spreading. By the end of the school year, TC's strikeout plan will make it to 8 schools in the region, with plans to add even more next year.
I think that these are the type of programs they really should be doing. Mental health for students right now it's really a critical time. We see more mental health challenges in young students than we ever have before. And so normalizing it and having people they look up to be the ones to talk about it is just so critical.
That's a lesson you can see in real time. And if you're wondering if it resonates,
Talk to someone.
just ask these Twins fans.
You can finally let all your problems get out and like relieved or something.
With TC Bear in White Bear Lake, Kent Erdahl, KARE 11 News.
Good stuff from TC Bear. Stick with us. More news and weather coming up.